definitely very doable. You just have to put your mind to it, girl. Put your mind to it, girl. I literally just filmed this video, but I look so greasy that I gotta run it back. Hey guys, and welcome back to Tati TV, okay? The first thing that I want to go ahead and say is excuse my voice because I'm a little under the weather, okay? I was attacked by somebody's germs. So as y'all seen by the title, today I'm going to be talking about how I, me, myself, and I, because I know everyone's life is different, I was able to save $10,000 making minimum wage to low-paying jobs, okay? So I first think that it's important to create the scene, make it all make sense. The time that we are going to really mainly focus on was dated in 2014. That's when I went off to college, and that's when this really jump started for you, girl. I know some people do, but I wasn't paying like for regular apartment rent. Everything was coming out via like a student loan or grant, etc. So it's like at the time I didn't really have any major responsibilities monetarily. Now there's one of two things that you can do when you are in a position as such. You can splurge or you can save. And I chose the route of saving. Just a little bit of background about myself personally. Even as a child, when I was given money by like my grandparents, my parents, I saved it. Like I would hide it or I would just tuck it away in a safe place. You know how some kids, you get money and you just want to go like buy toys, you want to go buy candy. Like no, I want to save it, okay? There's three things you can call this. You can call it dead cheap. Call it being a minimalist. Or you can call it financially smart, financially woke. We'll move on to like when I first started working. That was like around age 16, junior year of high school. I started working, and even then I was saving. But at that time, when my parents said, oh sis, you got a job, all right, cool then. Anything you want, you will buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like of course they still fed me and stuff like that, but like if I wanted some clothes or some shoes, I was swiping. But I was still also managing to save as well. When I wanted my hair done, I was swiping. But again, I still managed to save. It was around 2014, I graduated high school, your girl left and went on to college. When I was working here in Cleveland, Ohio, I was working at a place called DeBella Subs, and I was making minimum wage. Minimum wage in 2014 was $7.85 freaking cents, okay? Before I left Cleveland, I was working at DeBella's about 16 hours, mostly was like my set time worked a week. And then like if people called off, I would take their shifts. Eventually I did start prepping in the morning, which gave me like maybe 25 hours. But really, if you do the math, $7.85 times 25 hours before even taxes, what does that say for y'all? $196.26. Broke. I started to briefly work down the road at Five Guys Burgers and Fries, okay? Your girl always stuck like food. And when I was working there, I was also making minimum wage, but they also gave us like little tips here and there as well. So I was like, okay, I like this. You know what I'm saying? I like the idea of tips, a little bit of extra cash. But when I moved, it made the most sense was for me to work at DeBella's because I had been working there for like a while, had a relationship with my manager. My manager was able to set up that transition. So she called and contacted the general manager at the one in Michigan, and she was like, hey, I got a girl, and she wouldn't work there. So I moved there, and that's where I started working. Again, making minimum wage a week, except they put a little more respect on my name, okay? They gave me more hours. They gave me like 35 hours a week. That before taxes equals to around $274.75. I got paid once a week, so that, you know, puts a little more perspective because I know that's $550. So that's not bad for 2 weeks at that time. So at this time that I'm in college, literally have to pay for things like still hair, nails, clothes, gas, insurance, stuff like that. Nothing crazy. So again, you could do two things with this: splurge or save. So it all started where there was a day when I was in my dorm room with my friend, and well, she noticed that I had like a lot of checks, like uncashed checks just chilling, some from back from Cleveland and some like from Michigan. And she was like, why do you have so many checks? And I was just all like, oh, I just like haven't had the time to really just go and cash them or just put them in my bank account. And she's like, you know, we have ATM downstairs in the like cafeteria. So I'm like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? So we went downstairs to the ATM and we start putting them checks up, y'all. Like, and it was probably like, I would say it was at least 5+ checks. I've seen how small the checks are, but still. Basically, by the time I ended up putting all the checks in, I believe it was like the checks deposit statement alone was like somewhere between like $1,200 and $1,500. And then my friend was just like, you might have just did something. And I'm all like, you know, low-key maybe, because like I said, even as a child, that's just something that I was just used to doing, just putting my money up and stuff. So when I was saving these checks, I wasn't thinking anything of it. I really wasn't intentionally doing it. But after that, I started doing it intentionally. So that's where like the building really started to come for me. Like I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just keep these checks, let them stack, and then put them in the bank. Partially became from me just being like that as a child, as well as me, I'm the oldest child, so like me learning independence was very quick. Like I know if I need something, I'm gonna have to get it. So you know what I'm saying, like it's good to save for emergency situations so that you don't have to ask for something or wait around for someone to give you something. That's how it started. And the way that I would say that this translated into my life now in a more like thought out way is as you all may know, the 80-20 rule, which I'll go ahead and put a screenshot of that on the screen. So I'll give you all an example of how it works like in my everyday life now. On my checks every 2 weeks, say I were to make $1,500, right? So from that $1,500, let's say we know for a fact that in the beginning of the month, we have a few of our bills that we need to pay. So the first thing that you want to make sure that you take out of your check are the necessities. So that is referring to gas that you're going to need to drive to and from work and to drop your kids off or to take yourself, you know, everywhere you want to go, etc. Then of course light bill, water bill, insurance for your, you know, car note, all that good stuff. So all that stuff that is due in the beginning of this month, we're going to subtract. So let's say for me and with my $1,500 check, that's going to be $500 of that check. So boom, that leaves me with $1,000 left to do whatever I may please. And again, you can do how you please. You can splurge or you can save. So of course on this video we're saving, sis. So what you need to do with this $1,000 is something that I would personally do. Boop, $800 right into my savings account, right? And that might seem a little obnoxious, but you have to think about it. $200 left over for leisure spending, okay? So we started with $1,500. We paid all of our bills. That left us with $1,000. With $1,000, we could have splurged that on bottles, booze, food, unnecessary stuff. But we decided to save. So $800 of that went to our savings account, and now we have $200, which we can still in 2 weeks get food. We can kick it. We can get our hair done. We can do all that good stuff. Okay, just do it the right way. You have to budget it. Okay, don't be excessive. And then you have to again remember, in another 2 weeks you're going to get another $1,500 check, and at this point majority of your bills are paid. You have a few more to pay. You can pay those off, and you're going to do the same thing over and over again. And the better you get at becoming like a minimalist or just budgeting properly, you will notice that even your checking account is going to start to stack, because it's like, okay, I saved $200, but like I told my friends I'm trying to save, so I'm not kicking it as much, which means when that second check came around, I still have like $125 left of the $200 that I already have. As my checkings account begins to stack, and I'm like, okay, that's an obnoxious amount to have as a leisure spending, then boom, that's when I like will transfer funds from my checkings to my savings. So for me, I would say like I like to keep, I feel like $500 is a good amount to have like in your checkings account, just for leisure spending. Anything over that, I like to just boop right in my savings. So you just have to make sure that you follow the 80-20 and your comfort level with your, you know, priorities that you have with bills and things like that. Because I know like I don't have as many bills, okay? So it's all like it's easier, you know, for me said than done. But then the people who do have bills probably make more money than me at the same time. So it's like it's definitely very doable. You just have to put your mind to it, girl. Put your mind to it, girl. And as a person who's transitioning from like splurging and you want to start saving and budgeting, I think another good thing that you need to remember or go by is make sure you treat yourself when you hit a goal. For you all, like, you can do, like, if you hit a weight goal, or if you hit a financial goal, if you hit a work goal, things like that, then boom, treat yourself. But for me personally, I like to do it more so in the sense that if I hit a financial goal, then I can go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, treat myself. Because at the end of the day, we do have to remember that we work hard for the money that we have and the money that we've earned. So it's all like, it's not going to come with us when we leave this earth. So you want to spend it, but you just have to make sure you do it in the right way so that you're able to, while you're on this earth, have the experiences that you want to have and live comfortably and all that good stuff. It's not an issue to treat yourself. Just make sure you're staying within your 80-20 rule, and make sure that you are also hitting your goals, because without a goal, you know, it kind of just goes haywire because you don't really know what you're working towards. Of course, the situation will be different for everyone. I just wanted to tell you all the story and how it worked out for me. And if I did leave out anything, or if it was too confusing, make sure you comment that down below. I just explained it the way that made most sense for me and exactly the way it happened for me. So if you guys enjoy videos like this, I can try and make it a little more logical and make another video, or do like a full just breakdown of like my budgeting strategies, like via like notebook or something, or planners. And make sure y'all go ahead and hit the make sure you all go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see y'all in my next video.
Black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.